multitasking here, so you might hear my voice kind of going away from the computer. Who's here? We got Candy's here and Christy's here and Butch Bronson. I like that name. My name's Butch Bronson. I'm here to save you, ladies. How's it going? I know I didn't do a nooner yesterday because I was fucking exhausted. Straight up. I did a couple of live streams, and then I've been doing a lot of work, and sometimes you just got to hit the gas pedal when your channel gets 500,000 views in one day, which is what I just got. That's why I'm in such a good mood right now. 2,500 subs and 500,000 views in one day. And it's not all the Star Wars videos. For some reason, the Joker Rotten Tomatoes video took back off like it was brand new again. And I've never seen anything like that. I am currently working. I've been researching all morning my next video, which is going to be Rotten Tomatoes, but it's going to be about the Watchmen. I found a lot of hypocrisy in the Access media that I love to expose. It's oh so fun. But it's been crazy. By the way, Candy, you got the message that we're sending you a hat, and we're going to send you some other stuff too. And I do need to have a discussion with the moderators. I want to plan it for this Saturday. You're going to get 2 nooners today. I've drank a lot of coffee today, folks. You're going to get 2 nooners today. So one now until I have to run and go get Logan from school. And then you're going to get one prior to my appearance on the High Council. So I'm looking for something. There, I found it. Okay. So hi everybody. Let's say. Stupid internal optimism gets me every time. Candy, I believe it or not, I still have that too. Prior to me watching Watchmen, I was like, there's a possibility I could like this. I sat down for the movie fully expecting to hate it, and I walked out of that movie really impressed. And I know a lot of people, and I'm prepared to have this discussion about the giant squid. But aside from the squid's engineering and what the squid did at the end, I can make an argument that aside from making John the bad guy, which is a big switch, it still works because you don't really see the squid. You see the squid after it's dead. But I mean, there's a lot of people, that comic is a Bible. It's a Bible to me as well. So, I mean, I don't know. I forgave the film because it's an adaptation. And it's a pretty damn faithful one, to be honest with you. That film's in my top 10. I know I might lose people for that, but it really is because Rorschach is done. Jack Earl Haley's performance as Rorschach in that film is equal to Heath Ledger's Joker, in my opinion, as far as portrayal of a character based on an interpretation from the comic. It is beautiful. It is beautiful. Last night was a trip. What was a trip? Last night was crazy. Yeah, last night was, that my trailer reaction, I almost didn't put it out because I'm sure you guys, well, maybe you didn't notice it. There's an audio issue with that the mic sounded tinny for some reason. And it was so late. And I'm like, I don't want to release a video at 10, but I'm glad I did. I gotta sit down for a second. There we go. I try to stand up as much as possible during the day. It's Nina's Friday. What day is it? It's Tuesday, right? Yeah, High Council. When you lose track of days when you don't go to work 9 to 5, like I had done for so many years of my life. I was thinking about that the other day. It's really weird. We're a year in, by the way, of me being a full-time on YouTube. Actually, I can't remember the exact day. I gotta go back and look when I walked out of Tesla in a puff of rage. Quickly, I can tell you I quit Tesla. So the plan was to do this podcast, work a day job, save up money, open shop. Technically, the date for the shop was supposed to be open April 1st of this year. So I was only going to be at Tesla for a year, but they hired me on because they needed people with auto parts experience. Believe it or not, they hired a ton of people with no auto experience at all. They hired tech people to create a car company. They initially thought that was a good idea because Elon didn't want to have the baggage from the auto industry poisoning the well of Tesla. And I get that logic, but you need, on a basic level, you need to have people who understand it. So they sent recruiters out looking for people of a certain type, I don't know, on LinkedIn. And they found me, and it was a LinkedIn page that I had not even paid attention to or anything. And honestly, the message they sent me was 2 months old when I found it. And they said, "Hey, we want to interview you." I'm like, "Oh, wow. Okay. Sure." I didn't say no. I said, yeah. Shaved my beard, went up there, got the job halfway through the first interview. The pay was insane. The benefits were insane. I mean, dental, vision, medical, free. And yeah, twice as much as where I was at, and twice as much as I've ever made, being a parts guy. So aside from comic shop owning, that's what I've done for most of my life was turning wrenches and working in auto parts for 20 years. So I've worked on Hondas, mainly Honda, Acura. Acura is what I'm best at as far as working on cars, and worked on. But then I went into parts because honestly, the working on cars part was hard, and I hated it. So I got into parts and did that for a lot of years. They called me back. They wanted for me to rebuild the parts department. And for it, what they did is they hired a bunch of parts guys, plopped them within certain service centers, and we were all supposed to kind of get together and build the parts department and streamline everything. And then I didn't know this, but Tesla starts a lot of plans and then forgets about them about a month in. And I was part of a plan that got forgotten about a month in. So after I'd been there for months and not being listened to at all, although I was hired to do a specific thing, and then they kept on whining about they didn't know quite what to do with me because I was so I was paid higher than everybody there, and word got out, I don't know how, and there was resentment, but I wasn't going to give up my fucking pay. So this whole plan that they started out, they didn't follow through on, and they just got frustrating. And there was a boss there I hated. We did not get along. We were butting heads like daily, and finally I just got sick of butting heads with this ponytailed ass hat. So and I do have I don't like douchebags with ponytails. So yeah, me and this guy were butting heads over and over and over again. And I just had enough. So I told the guy to go fuck himself, and I left. Yeah, it wasn't my finest moment, but that's how I left Tesla. What's up, Bear Nerd Fun? Manufacturing trade jobs are disappearing. They are, Christy. And the thing is, Tesla's dying for people. They're dying for people. It's a good place to work. If I didn't, but the thing is, it's really corporate, and I later talked to him, and we had a long conversation, and I apologized, and we're actually good now. But I had to like own a lot of shit on that one, which sucked. But I just came, I don't work well with corporations. It's just, I don't fit well in that system. That doesn't make anybody, who does fit well bad. It's probably bad for me. I'm just, hopefully this YouTube thing works out, or I'm going to have to sell hot dogs or something like that, which is fine. I'd rather do that than work for a corporation. Bear Nerd Fun. I left jobs that way before. No judgment here, right? I mean, maybe we all have. But thank you, Nina. But trade jobs are brilliant. I mean, people look down on them. There was a point in my life where I had no skills at all. So I was 20 something, kicked out of 3 high schools, no college education. I thought I was looking down. I thought I was going to be delivering pizzas for the rest of my life. So I started out delivering auto parts, and I was super proud of that job, and I loved it. And I took it seriously. And then it got noticed, and then some people hired me away. They taught me that because they saw how hard I worked. They taught me a trade, and I was okay within that job. I'm like, I can do this job the rest of my life. I love it. It's fun. It's there's a lot of numbers I like. I don't know. It's the weird OCD nature. I remember numbers easily, and I liked it. I got to talk to people on the phone, and it was a very busy job. And there was always something to do. That's the fun part of the job. It's never slow, but it's not like physically hard. It's mentally. It requires a lot of thought. And believe it or not, for certain things, I have a very good memory. So, I mean, I've still got the Honda car catalog, parts catalog, like memorized. I can rattle off parts probably till the day I die. Part numbers like, let's see, rear brakes for a 98 Integra. You guys aren't going to be able to fact check this, but 45022 SD4R22. I mean, I just remember the numbers. But this came along. I like talking more. I never thought I'd be able to make a living talking. So I wish my dad was alive to see this. He would fucking laugh his ass off. So the video I'm working on today is required some research, a lot of research. So I've been researching all morning, went to the gym, research. And it also required, this is really the hard part of this job. I had to reread Watchmen again. And I know it's tough. I sweat over these brilliant comic books that I had to read over and over again. I got to thank Watchmen HBO for getting me to read Watchmen again, because it just reminded me of what greatness is. I know that Star Wars girl tweeted out that she hated Watchmen, and that hurts my soul a little bit, but I understand it's not for everybody. Just working the afternoon shift on my trade job, CNC machinist for aerospace parts. Thanks for the love, Gary. Oh, that's a brilliant. That's a brainy as hell job. That is not I mean, technically it's a trade job, but that's an engineer job too. It requires a lot of smarts to do that. And it's, skilled labor. It pays better now than it ever has. If you want to be an auto mechanic, you can make a couple $100,000 a year. Easy. Yeah. Office politics is obnoxious and it hurts productivity. I hear you. It kills it. It kills it. Egos. And listen, I was ego free in this. It was just a job to me. I wasn't, that's what they loved in the interview. I said, I don't want to be a manager. I know this sounds terrible, but I don't want to be a manager. I was brutally honest in my interview, and I highly recommend that. People love that, by the way. But I was like, my plan is to be here for maybe 2 years. I don't want to be a manager. I don't want to do anything. I just want to do this job that you're hiring me for to the very best of my ability. And they were like, yes, got some corporate climber. We don't have competition. Managers love that shit. If you tell them, I don't know, you got to feel it out. But yeah, I was just like, I don't want to be a manager. I don't want to take your job. Fell asleep at the keyboard at the wee hours of the morning. Yeah. So after I was off Inquisition Part 2, because so Sunday was EFAP, and then Watchmen and Batwoman, and then I recorded that the Star Wars video that came out in the morning. I did the intro on Saturday, but I ended up kind of like what Doomcock is reporting. I reshot 75% of my video till 5 a.m. Went to sleep for 2 hours, got up, made Mrs. Nerdrotic some coffee, got Junior off to school, went back to sleep for a little while, and then got up and just kind of waited for the Star Wars trailer to drop and did a video there. And wow, did that do good. Let's see. I'm going to go back here right now. Current count is, yeah. So since we started this live stream, I got 50 subscribers. I don't know what the hell. I kind of thought the reaction video is not my best work, to be honest with you. I even clown myself in it. But yeah, it's at real time views. It's at 90,000 right now. The thing is, though, that you know what's I'll tell you right now, YouTubers, it could be really dangerous to live and die by your analytics, to the point where I try to be very self-aware to where I don't want to let a video that doesn't perform well ruin my day, and I don't want to get too high on a video that performs too well, because that could really fuck with your life. That's like being, too into a football team, which I was for a long time. Like if the Chargers lost, it would like destroy my week. And you could imagine that's a lot of destroyed weeks because they really sucked. But yeah, I'm kind of glad I'm not a football fan anymore, to be honest with you. I was watching Steven Crowder's live stream, and that was interesting. It was interesting. I gotta say. Let's get back to you guys. Where are you? That's awesome. I said the same in my interview 7 years later. I'm now the supervisor. Well, Christy, you have a right to change your mind. And look at this. Look at these strong, powerful boss women. Girl boss. There's my girl boss. That's awesome. You are smart. Okay. Aerospace. You need to be smart to be let in the building there. They would not let people like me near that. And persevered. I endeavored to persevere, which is my favorite line from any movie. So yeah, so I will be the high council's at 6-ish tonight. So at 5 there will be another nooner. I'm gonna go pick up Junior. I gotta start working on my video. There's so much stuff I can make videos on right now. I'll try to do another one as well. I mean, I could make Star Wars videos for the rest of the week, but I got to hit Watchmen hard. And honestly, there's not that much interest in it. The ratings were shit. They tried to spin the ratings, and I'm going to mention this in the video. They're like, well, same with Batwoman. They call when you hear the trades calling ratings solid, that means they suck. So, and they lied. I caught Variety in a straight up lie in their article, so I will bring that up. But they basically said they tried to say that it premiered higher than Westworld, which is a flat out lie. Westworld had about 400,000 more viewers. Only 1.5 million people watched The Watchmen. For a premiere on HBO, this is supposed to be the heir apparent to Game of Thrones, which in comparison, the last episode of Game of Thrones that aired was 17.4 million. So a good high ratings for HBO generally are about 1.5 million, 2 million. For a premiere of Watchmen with an established quote unquote franchise that they've been pushing the hell out of, and it didn't premiere higher than Westworld, which was largely an unknown property when it aired. And frankly, Westworld season 1, I still love it. I own it. I'll even watch it again. I'll just forget season 2 happened. Season 1 is utter perfection. It's beautiful. And honestly, it could have just been a one and done, and it would have been high art, in my opinion. But Watchmen was so bad, and dude, the shit me and Doomcock have gotten for that. Our fucking comment section. YouTube is pulling a lot, holding for comments, and I generally don't like read too many of them anyway. I mean, I can't. But whew. It took all of 30 seconds to be called a racist. And wait until my next video though, because it's not going to be nice. Yeah. But I'm going to be consistent because I have a nitpick about the show that is the same nitpick I have about the movie. And the show's dumb. Like the verisimilitude in it is just dumb. I watched it a second time. I watched your boy Zach's video, and your boy Zach knows about 50 caliber guns because he used to be in the military. Now, my knowledge of 50 caliber is Saving Private Ryan when that 50 cal vaporized everybody. It's not something you can just get, especially in a society with no technology that's in a semi-police state. And there's a lot of other. It's as dumb as Star Trek Discovery. There's a lot of like terrible shots, forgetting major. It's very bad reboot. J.J. Abrams. We're gonna go with a cool idea, whether it makes sense or not. We're gonna have scenes of the cops laughing, even though half of their invading force on the cattle ranch was killed brutally by a 50 caliber weapon. But let's have a little chuckle on the outside. Yeah. She did Maleficent, a live action remakes, and is getting zilch by Disney when it goes on Disney Plus because they didn't negotiate live action, only animation. Yeah, there's going to be a big strike in Hollywood, Candy, coming up, because part of the reason there was a huge writer's strike in Hollywood when I worked down there, I was working down there when the writer's strike was going on. And there's still a lot of people who are really resentful towards the writers, but they had a point. They saw all this shit coming and they didn't have contracts for it, and they still don't. And the reason these entertainment companies are renaming themselves and rushing to streaming is they are about to fuck a lot of people out of the residuals, which they do all the time. This is why a person like Alex Kurtzman does very well at CBS, and this is why they like him. They don't care about his art. This guy is he is on the knob of the company. The one thing I get from my insider is perception of him, and it's not a lot of stuff I can report because I could get in trouble for it because it's hearsay. But there are people who like him within CBS, and there's people who hate him. He's definitely got a reputation of being a snitch yes man, and that's his environment. And I think, well, we saw it with Walter Mosley. That really exposed Alex Kurtzman and his work environment more than anything. Maleficent. God, I gotta say that. Maleficent screenwriters. Yeah, they're probably gonna get screwed. I didn't see that. I will include that in my video then, because I've got the Kurt Sutter. Kurt Sutter's letter is beautiful. We need so much more of that. Okay, I got 2 more minutes before I gotta go. Okay, so what's it? Oh, so you're going on Midnight's Edge channel, but you're not going on my channel? Do you want to come on Friday, Geeky? Be on Friday Night Tights? I'm on Midnight's Edge channel. Oh, Toxic Femininity, of course. First time. I'll be watching then. I will be watching. Well, have fun. I look forward to it. That I'm not surprised about at all. They don't believe in that shit. They don't believe in that shit. Let's see. What's this now? Gary, when YouTube gave you a copyright strike and you started the second channel and RT took down 50,000 views, that influenced me to become a YouTuber. It's been just over 6 months, 116 subs. Well, that's about how many subs I got in my first 6 months. You got to keep on trucking. Remember, my first 4.5 years of YouTubing, I amassed 3,000 subs, and I was perfectly happy. And with 3,000 subs and lots of live streaming, you can make I was making like $1,000 a month. That wasn't bad. That was nice extra. That was fucking brilliant extra money to have. What's happened now, I honestly can't explain, man. I really don't. I feel like I'm doing the same thing now that I was then. I'm a little better on my editing because I was out of practice. Oh, that's my Alexa alarm. Hang on. Alexa, alarm off. Okay. I have to go pick up Junior now. So I will be back at 5 p.m. Geeky, I will be watching you on Toxic Femininity. I am super proud of you. Your channel is going to get huge. Trust me. You have a lot of support. And Bear Nerd Fun, I will give you a shout out. Tomorrow's nooner. So we'll get you a couple hundred subs. How's that sound? Just remind me. But I will be back in a little bit, everybody. And thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being on Subscribestar and Patreon. You will have a new chapter of Lord of the Rings. Plus, I've got something for the Doctor Who tier. I got something for you guys too. Okay. I will catch you later. Thank you again. Bye-bye.